Hey everybody, Michaelantonio here, and I have an amazing story for you. You're going to love this. This actually happened to me a short time ago. It's about two dreams that I had that are actually tied together. They happened on two different nights within a couple of days of each other. And as I tell this story, I'm going to tie these together and apply them to life itself. And maybe to you. You might have experienced this, or this is something that will definitely involve you at some point in your life. So let's get started with this. Oh, wow. Whew. I just had one of those dreams. You know, those strange ones that make you feel creeped out. And it's, you feel like you're in reality, but you know that when you wake up, you're glad that it was just a dream. That's exactly what I experienced. I was walking through this dimly lit arcade, possibly a casino. Not quite sure. But normally, of course, you know those places are very well lit. Not this place. So I'm walking through, and I had this strange sense of being followed. You ever have that happen? That's what I was feeling. And so I just walked around browsing at all the different machines and what was there. And then I noticed that, somebody was, in fact, following me. It was a young man, a strange young man, that had like a rugged, handsome appearance. And he was speaking to me. He actually began to summon to me and speak to me, almost as if taunting me. And he was speaking a language that seemed like it was Russian, but because I don't know Russian, I'm not quite sure, but it sounded like the Russian language. And he pursued me for quite some time. I just kept looking back at him as he approached me. And then I, feeling strange, I kind of woke up at that point. I woke up and I realized that there must have been something more to this. Because, this particular person, it was really, really strong in my psyche, in my conscience. It was just something there. You know how you just can't pinpoint it, but it's something bigger than normal? 2 nights later, I'm sitting at the front counter of a diner, and this is like the scene from a movie. There's a guy sitting next to me, and then right in front of us walks this beautiful young woman. She's, scantily clad. She's just the most gorgeous thing that any man ever laid eyes on. What's funny is I'm not even really paying attention. I know she's there, and I see her walk by, and she kind of looks at me with these eyes, as if to say, come hither, like, hey, you like what you're looking at? This is what I'm sensing. But I really wasn't interested. I had something else on my mind, but the guy next to me nudges me and says, hey, what do you think about that? And I just kind of ignored him. I brushed him off like it was not that important. And then suddenly, for some reason, I spun around and looked towards the front entrance, and there was a bench next to the front entrance of this restaurant, and there was a guy, the same Russian guy that was in my last dream. And he was looking at me. He was sitting on this bench, looking directly at me. And he had this very impish grin. I'll never forget it. He had this grin as if to say, I'm gonna get you. He's just one of those things. You just knew it wasn't a pleasant, how do you do kind of a grin, a happy, a greeting. It was, this thing was just teeth bared. Yeah, his teeth even looked kind of gnarly, and he just looked demonic. He looked very evil. And all of a sudden, before I could even blink or think, he lunged towards me as if he just wanted to tear me apart, limb from limb. And I didn't even have time to be scared or nothing. It just happened so fast, I didn't have time for anything. But just as fast as he did that, these men in suits, big men, I'm talking burly guys in suits, leap into the scene and grab a hold of this guy. There must have been at least 4 or 5 of these guys. And they looked like, central casting of Secret Service agents, but they were bigger than that. They had to be 7-8 feet tall. They were just massive beings, whatever they were. But they looked human, but they were just all dressed in suits, dressed to the nines, beautiful. they looked tough. And they had a hold of this guy, and he's spitting and screaming. I mean, this guy was spitting mad that he couldn't get at me. And all I remember is they grabbed a hold of him, they looked at me, and then this guy was standing there, and I reached out my hand to this guy, just reached out my hand, and I grabbed a hold of his hand. And I just said, without even thinking about it, I just grabbed a hold of him and I said, "In the name of Jesus." That's what I said. And as soon as I said that, this man, this evil creature, began to spin into oblivion. He just spun around, almost like a cartoon, and just disappeared to a pinpoint. Boop, gone. And that was the end of that. And that was the end of my dream, by the way. I was shaken awake by that one. And it just goes to show you that I began to think about those two dreams and began to consider what was going on there. Is God telling me something? What was that? I can tell you what that was. That dream was about not only me, but about you as well. It was about our enemies. We have a lot of enemies in our life. Some of them are physical enemies. Some of them are spiritual enemies, emotional. Many different things in our life that attack us. Now, in my case, it might have actually been a spiritual being, a demonic, an evil being that's trying to hurt me, trying to attack me. But I had some very large men, some very large beings that were protecting me. Now, I take those as my guardian angels. They were protecting me from something. And I believe that's what happened there. And I believe God was showing me that, yes, there's something after me. Maybe it's more than one thing, more than one entity. But I can tell you that whatever that thing is, my God is much bigger and much more powerful than whatever that thing is trying to get me. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, to be encouraged, that no matter what it is in your life that seems insurmountable, God is greater than that thing that's going to try to tackle you and take you out. Because I can tell you right now, guys, I didn't even have time to think, like I told you. That thing was ready to tear me limb from limb. And you know what? I overcame it. And so I just wanted to encourage you that even when we don't have the power to overcome those things, that God's there for us. He sends angels. He sends us protectors to make sure that we're not harmed. But you also have to remember that you have to be in prayer about those things. You have to ask God for that protection. He doesn't always just automatically provide it. And, I do ask for it, believe me. But it's just amazing that I wasn't even expecting this attack. The attack came out of nowhere. Now, there was a little bit of a warning in the first dream, if you remember. I was being warned at that time, hey, there's something coming here. Be ready. Be ready. But what's funny is in the second dream, I still wasn't ready. I wasn't. But you know what's even funnier? The beginning of that second dream, remember, this woman came into the picture, a beautiful woman. Someone who really was trying to get my attention. Now, I don't know if that meant a literal female that was trying to, sway my affections. Okay? I don't know that. But whether or not it was something that was trying to distract me. And I had to stay focused on it. So just remember that, guys. I just wanted to encourage you. I'm not going to go on any further than this. I just wanted to let you know. Did you have a dream you don't understand? Leave it in the comments and I'll help you. And once again, please like this video, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Ciao, everybody. You find something new. There's no other way to let you know it's time for you to go.